Hello, I'm Charlene of the Rainbow Frequency. Actually, I am Charlene, also known as the Rainbow Frequency. I'm being guided to own that as my name and explain that that's just a condensed version of my shamanic name, which is She Who Dances, casting rainbows every which direction, which is way too long to say all the time, so hence the nickname, the Rainbow Frequency. And I work to help people heal themselves, mind, body, and spirit. I do so through some energy healing methods, which I'm going to show you today. I work with card readings, giving channeled psychic readings to help people work through their wounds, their trauma, break free of patterns, ancestral karma, trauma, so that they can be self-actualized. Radical self-acceptance and unconditional love, the name of my game, so to speak. If you'd like to work with me in person or online, I do so through a variety of ways. So if it resonates, contact me. If not, find someone to work with if that's your thing, or do this for yourself. For myself, I have had some guides and teachers and people that I've gone to, but I enjoy doing it on my own for myself, and there are a lot of you out there that feel this way too. So I'm here to help empower you to do that self-care, to do that self-work, to do that shadow work, to come up with rituals that you can go to daily to maintain your own energy and wellness. So, this is prayer position. It is also something where it aligns with your heart chakra, and it also amazingly helps align the hemispheres of your brain and the sides of your body. So, mind, body, spirit. It isn't separate. They're things that are meant to be integrated for holistic wellness. So, if you like, start with this. To me, it feels very, very good. Again, it's that heart chakra, it's that heart center. It's helping you to be heart-centered. Love it. A lot of us are feeling a lot of stress and discomfort because the world is a bit chaotic at the moment. There are lots of things that are undergoing change, and every time we go through times of upheaval that precede big changes in our cultural evolution, it's a bit of a chaotic mess, or a shit show, as they say. So we're in that shit show period. One of the studies I have read, I love reading scientific journals, I'm a big nerd, is that we've been getting more and more empathetic as generations go on. So that's where right now we don't know what to do with all of that feeling, and instead of feeling like a victim or overwhelmed, realize that you're an empath perhaps. There are many different types of empaths, so look into that. And, ask yourself regularly, is this my own feeling, or am I picking up the feelings of others or my environment? So to that end, if you need to shake off other people's energy, like say you have an argument with someone, or you've been in an uncomfortable situation, or sometimes we have people that will come and vent to us, and that's perfectly fine, but you need to shake off the heaviness afterwards, so to say. Anything like that. Things you can do. For me, in my energy healing work, this is a clearing action. Also, moving side to side clears energy. There are a lot of motions that we innately do without thinking about it. I'm here to demystify mysticism and show how very simple energy healing can be. Again, it's a universal energy that's available to all of us. Doesn't need to be granted by someone who has learned it from someone special. I know that will ruffle some feathers, but again, universal energy that has been here since the very dawn of time, available to us all. You don't need to be granted permission. You just need to actually remember that you're more than a physical body. You are a soul that is infinite, and you just have to remember that you're a sovereign being and take ownership of yourself and the gifts that you came here with. My most important thing in life is to get to know who you are, how you tick, do it with intention for your own highest good and the highest good of those around you. End of my preach. So, another thing you can do, shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. You know, so if you feel icky, you feel gross, come on with me. Shake it off. Shake it. I like to do this with music, so shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout. Sometimes you do need to shout. So if you need to shout, find a place where you can do that. Sometimes you need to roar. You know, like, don't suppress the feelings. Feel them. Don't let them rule you. And then, as they say, let it go. Recently, I was listening to this woman speak, and this really resonated. You know, our bodies are so wise. Like, if we go to touch something that's hot, we will instantly let it go. Because we're like, oop, not for us. We don't need to hold on to that. So same thing, like she was saying, like hot potato. If it feels ick, if it's not good, shake it off, let it go. Don't hold on to that comment, that criticism. Let it go. Because a lot of times people displace their feelings onto you, or they criticize you because they're self-criticizing themselves in this way. So again, shake it off. Now I'm getting warm, perimenopausal. Woo. Alright, so another way to heal your energy, rocking back and forth. Now, we innately do this. We have rocking chairs, for God's sakes. And growing up, I was born in the late 70s, like, there were those that would make fun of people who they thought were afflicted for rocking back and forth. Now, psychologists and scientists have recognized that there are movements such as this that are helpful, that healing. It's a self-soothing thing. So there's people who we thought were afflicted were actually geniuses and knew what to do for themselves. Love it. As an energy healing conduit, it was conveyed to me from spirit about these movements, and that I meant to help share and again shed light to these are innate things that we do for a reason. So try rocking back and forth to heal your energy. So again, you've been in a situation that feels awful, traumatizing, you need to self-soothe, rock. Another great thing, I call this the thunder jacket. Your heart and soul, your heart chakra, your solar plexus. Using this to do breath work, again, can help with anxiety, to calm fight or flight response. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold it for 7, and release for 8. There's also box breathing, which I like to do the full box. So I will breathe in for, say, 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts, release it for 4 counts, and then hold it again for 4 counts, because boxes have 4 sides. Another way I like to do is to breathe in, say, for 4 counts to start, and then gradually progress to where I increase how deeply I'm breathing and how much I'm exhaling, because a long time ago, a yoga teacher named Holly told me that a lot of us breathe very shallowly. We never fully inhale, we never fully exhale, which causes a lot of problems in our bodies. We survive on oxygen and the flow of the energy through us. So one of the main things I talk to people about when I channel messages from their body, I'm not a doctor, but damn it, Jim, I'm a social scientist, and a spiritual medium. And, you know, the things that I tell people from their body, a lot of times it's like, watch those electrolytes. And why? Because our body, again, we have a central nervous system, you know, our spine, our nerves, all of that are flowing electricity through us. We're all physically capable of being mediums, but if we are dehydrated and don't have enough electrolytes, those neurons, that electricity can't flow, and again, things start to happen, bad things. So take care of your body, recognize that your physical signals are there to help you stay healthy, so don't ignore them. You know, like when you're thirsty, that's a sign that you're already dehydrated. But you don't want to drink too much water without those electrolytes, because that can deplete you as well. Anyway, so another way to clear your energy is to move counterclockwise. Side to side, or this is more for external clearing, whereas going counterclockwise is, the way they convey it to me is more like cleansing the cup, cleansing the vessel. So more of an internal clearing of your energy. I mean, again, we as humans love to hula hoop. Just saying. Innate, joyful things that we can do. So cleanse your cup, cleanse your vessel, cleanse you on an internal plane. Then, to increase self-worth, go clockwise. Yeah. Again, if you need a hula hoop, get a hula hoop. Let's see, what else? I think that's it for those. So now I'm going to show you some self-healing with hand placements and chanting the mantras of the chakras, which again, you can do this for yourself. This is basically like Reiki level 1 is about teaching you how to self-heal your own self. You know, a lot of times people rush to then going to wanting to heal others. And a lot of times, again, we displace. So it's just like, don't rush through healing yourself. We're like onions, there are lots of layers. So take that time to really work through all of what you've experienced. You know, some of us have had pretty peaceful lives, so we only will have like a small cake, so to say, of like things that we need to process, digest, and release. Whereas others of us who have gone through a lot of heavy experiences, it can get bigger and bigger to where it can be like a giant wedding cake or quinceañera cake. You know, so you have to, again, acknowledge, process, and digest, and release, and get through all those layers. So don't rush your self-healing process. And also, the number one thing that people as energy healing practitioners tend to not be good at is maintaining regular self-healing. You know, we throw ourselves into the world, into the fray, wanting to help others, and you can't heal from an empty cup. You can't. As an empath, you have to learn to be an empowered empath, and that means prioritizing yourself and regularly maintaining your own wellness as a priority. You are your number one priority. So, here we go. All right, let me start by saying it depends on what's going on in your life, how we start. If you feel stuck and you don't know where to go, you're not motivated in that sort of sense, then I work from the feet up. If you're too much in your head, then I work from the crown on down. We're going to go from the crown on down so that you leave feeling very grounded. A lot of times though, like say I start from the feet, I go up to the feet, go from the feet up to the head, and then I'll go back down. So I want to start off by saying that whatever I do, it is my intention to do it for my highest good, as well as the highest good of all involved, in a way that delights mind, body, and spirit. I, at one point early on in my spiritual journey, was just like, look, guides, just so we know, to be clear, even if I don't say it, I always forever mandate that everything I engage with is meant to be for my highest good, the highest good of all involved, in a way that delights mind, body, and spirit. End of statement. Non-negotiable. That's how it is. So that is to say, like, if you do spiritual work, if you do divination, set your parameters, your boundaries, and be clear and don't budge. They need you as the human vessel to physically do the work. Their muses, their inspiration, their loving supporters. They're not meant to nag you or get you to do things that you don't feel comfortable with. I mean, yes, there's getting out of your comfort zone to really embody what your heart and soul wants. But again, your heart and soul wants it. You're just fearful because your ego is afraid of being judged. That's different. So again, and a lot of times, you know, you can confuse your ego, again, which can be nagging, whining, and fearful, or, you know, it's just, if it's not coming to you in a loving, supportive way that helps you feel empowered in a way that is delightful to your heart and soul, then something's off. So anyway, set that stage. Have loving, firm, healthy boundaries in all areas of your life. Just saying. So we're going to go from the crown on down. And I'm going to chant the mantras for the chakras, which you can find online, or if you want, you can email me or DM me. My email is therainbowfrequency77@gmail, or, you know, in my bios, you can get to me that way. There's a link in my bio to book if you want to book an appointment, but I have written up information about the chakras and the mantras and my self-healing methods if you want it. All right, so here we go. You can sit if you rather sit. You can lie down if you can see me, but here we go. Crown chakra. How we connect to our higher consciousness, to source, to receive those downloads, how we connect to whatever you want to call God, divine, source consciousness, whatever. I don't limit belief systems. I don't expect you to follow mine completely, you know, so you be your own person, but this is how you connect all the way up. Third eye, how we connect to our intuition, which is how our higher consciousness can help guide us in the earthly plane. Oh. Throat chakra, how we communicate our truth, and how we listen. Very important that a lot of people don't talk about. But again, if you're not listening to your truth or yourself or others, that's another way that you're blocked in your throat chakra. And I always imagine that we're hacking out a giant hairball. All the stuff that we have absorbed that diminished our voices or kept us from expressing our truth. Let's hack it out. Are you ready? And I like to include the throat and the sinuses, ears. I often feel like a human theremin, and however it comes out, it just comes out. So when you channel, or when you let it flow, just don't hold back and let it come out how it needs to. Heart chakra, that unconditional love, compassionate center. And then we'll stop and say, like with energy healing, we have a side that receives and a side that gives, so to speak, giving and receiving. Everyone's different. You don't have to do it the way that someone else does it, because we're unique for a reason. But for me, receiving, giving. Left hand is for receiving, right hand is for giving. You'll see perhaps me draw, like I drew a symbol on the third eye. When I work, this hand will either be on the person or receiving, and then this hand will be doing. That's just how I work. But I like to explain so that you know what's going on, and perhaps if it resonates for you in some way, it helps you understand yourself better. So, here we go. Clearing out distress with the help of the city sounds, cleansing heartache, how your heart has been traumatized. The heart, I've been given different symbols to work with by my guides, and for the heart I draw a rose in a spirally form. They also want me to say to you that it's important when you're chanting to stretch out the im last syllable, like an om. You go om. Things to know. All right, solar plexus, our self-confidence, our soul, our will, and a lot of times when we've been criticized, it can diminish our light, so to speak, or we feel like we have to change so that others will love us. Silliness, right? If they don't love you for who you are, maybe find other people who do. Anyway, so solar plexus. And then for this one, I like to roar. So if you can, roar like a lion. I just learned that Venus is also associated with the lion, and Venus is the goddess of love, also linked to Ishtar and Nana, Mother Mary, so many, so it's just, we all have divine masculine and a divine feminine within us. Anyway, so for this one, I draw a sun with 23 rays, and I draw a lion. Depending on the person, depends on how many whiskers the lion has. I'm a channel, I don't know everything, but I find these things very interesting, and I know they're significant. But here we go. So as a channel, another way to define it would be I'm a trance medium. So I let it flow through me what to do. A lot of times I find like they will use my body like a pendulum. At the end I drew a star with my body. A star or a pentacle, often confused with a pentagram. The pentacle, or actually the true definition of a pentagram, is that it ties the elements together with the help of spirit. It's a protective symbol. It helps you integrate. So, how about them apples? A lot of times, various cultures will take things from other cultures' belief system and change it to their own purposes or vilify it. So really, get down to the true essence of what you're connecting to and let go of other people's perceptions or the myths or, and I don't like the word mythology because really it's cheapening other people's belief systems, so I don't like it. I don't like that word so much anymore. But anyway, rant. All right. So your sacral chakra, your creativity, your emotions, it's that lower sort of abdomen womb space. It's how we nurture ourselves and others, our connection to our mother, your sexuality, your passion. So for this one, I will draw water. I'll draw the moon cycles. And I often will draw a 6-petaled flower on either side for the ovaries. Even if it's a man. So it's funny because, again, we're energetic beings. I don't really like labels so much, so I really struggle with even what to tell people I am. And I certainly am more than a woman. I'm gonna end this with a song that came through on that end. But anyway, so again, we all have divine masculine and divine feminine energy. Divine feminine is that receptivity. It's our intuition. It's knowing how to nurture one another. That empathetic side of us, which isn't limited to women. And then our divine masculine, which a lot of very strong women I have known have been more in their divine masculine energy because it felt safer than their divine feminine. So they have to then let go a little bit and soften to that receptivity to be fully actualized. So anyway, myself included, like for a long time, I was very much action, protection, get it done energy. That's that divine masculine. These are just nutshell descriptions, by the way. All right, so the first time I got Reiki and the person put their hand here, I started bawling and I didn't want to go back, but it's a very normal response. If we've been suppressing our emotions, when somebody engages with your sacral chakra, you might cry. That emotion can come bubbling up, but you're not meant to suppress. And really, if you're not in tune with your emotions, you're not going to be very able to connect with your intuition well, because they're very much linked. So again, feel your feelings, don't let them rule you, but get down to what they're trying to tell you. A lot of times it's a need for a boundary, or that we have a wound that needs to be unearthed and healed. Last but not least, and I mean really there are more than 7 chakras. Well, it depends on the belief system. Some have less, some have more, but this is just the basics. Well, I'm going to show you. I go down to my knees and my feet, because I more so believe, or work with, I believe in more than just the 11, but I work with predominantly the 11. So there's one above your head as well, and all the way up to the heavens. And then the root chakra, which is at your hips, your groin, the base of your spine. But then your knees, showing the cleavage. Your knees are how you connect to the surface of the earth. And then your feet are how you connect to all the way down to the core of the earth. So, to me, very important things to work with. But again, there's more than that. You have chakras in your hands, tons, elbows, shoulders, more. I mean, we're alive, energetic beings, full of energy centers galore. Because, chakras, let's go back just a step. Your chakras are energy centers through your body. They help you process the information that pertains to that aspect of yourself. So if you're not processing your emotions, you'll have an emotional blockage. If you feel wounded in your self-confidence, because you're holding on to shit that you don't need to be, you'll have a blockage in your will and your self-confidence. If you don't feel secure in yourself, you'll have a blockage in your root chakra. So a lot of times we innately will put our hands on our hips if someone's trying to push us past our boundaries, which again is just a natural, normal response. I love it. You know, if we feel like we don't want to be absorbing what other people, you know, if we don't feel comfortable, we'll cross our arms. Again, that shields us from absorbing. So many ways that we engage with our chakras. You know, when someone's talking about something and they're upset, we will naturally put our hand on their shoulder. Again, chakra point, very consoling. So again, innate behaviors that I'm helping you recognize and work with in ways for regular self-care. Root chakra, your sense of security and stability within yourself, within your environment, and that connection to the earth. A lot of times people, they feel like the world is a mess, it's heavy, it's full of shit. So then they vilify the earth instead of the circumstances that they're in, or, you know, the people. It's not the earth's fault. So instead of sort of emotionally disconnecting into that fetal position energetically and disconnecting from the earth, really the most helpful thing that you can do is to ground, because it's that relationship you have with the earth that helps you be vital. And then for this one, I draw a tree. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to do a quick guided meditation with you. So you can sit, you can lie down, you can keep standing. You be your own person, do what feels best. You can again put your hands in prayer position. If you're sitting, you could put your hands up on your knees. This is a way to be more open to receiving. Some people do this, but again, do what feels best to you. You're your own person. So take a deep breath, hold it momentarily, and exhale. Nobody needs or wants you at this time. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and exhale. I'd like to thank the universal energies that surround, that help us to connect. It's my intention to aid you, as always, in your highest good, in a way that delights you, mind, body, and spirit. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and as you exhale, imagine your roots growing down from the base of your spine, down your legs, and through the soles of your feet, descending through all the layers of the earth till they reach an underground cave. There they slip into a crystalline pool, rehydrating and further connecting to the crystalline grid or the energy lines of the earth. Then they go down deeper still, intertwining to form a cord that then wraps around the heart center core of the earth. You give thanks for this support, and in exchange, all this vital, elemental life force energy travels back up through your roots, up through your chakra system, helping you as needed for where you are in your healing journey. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and as you exhale, allow yourself to crack open from a little seed and grow into your plant body, sprouting, breaking through the soil, and growing ever larger in the light. Up, up, up you grow, taking up your proper dimensions and proportions, no longer diminishing yourself. Up, up, up you grow, past the clouds, through the atmosphere, till you break through to the cosmos. There you connect to the Celestine grid, and then go further still to your center or centers in the cosmos. You give thanks for this support, and in exchange, all this high vibrational, celestial energy travels back down through your plant body and through your chakra system, helping you as needed for where you are in your healing journey. The energies of above and below now flowing through you as they should, in, out, and back again, like blood flowing through the chambers of a sacred heart. You are grounded, you are centered, held within your sacred circle of love and support. Take a moment to feel how loved you are, how connected you are deeply to all that is. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and as you exhale, relax further into this state, releasing tension, resistance, self-limitation, self-criticism. Release it out to be transmuted into self-love and acceptance. See yourself as your plant body, firmly rooted and supported within your sacred terrain. Let your senses stretch out to perceive what is there with you, whether it be plant, animal, insect, guide, guardians, and helpers. Allow yourself to feel, see, smell, taste, hear, however it comes through. Don't force, just allow. Then you see yourself as this plant body with a door. You step out of your plant body in an energetic form and open this door to go within. Inside is cozy, and you have everything you could possibly need. You're greeted by a guide that gives you a beverage that quenches your thirst on a deep level. Try to perceive, if you can, what this delicious beverage is. You thank them, and then they give you a meal. which you consume, and it sates you and nourishes you on a deep level. Again, if you can, perceive what this delicious sustenance is. If not, just let it go. When you're done, they take you to a room with a mirror where you can see yourself in your highest form. Allow yourself to be a witness to your soul. Allow yourself to see yourself as the higher forces see you, with love. Then put your hands on the mirror, merging with this higher self, letting go of false beliefs or perceptions, seeing yourself through an untrue lens, integrating with your higher consciousness, your soul, for self-acceptance and unconditional love. Then you walk through this mirror back into your sacred terrain, seeing your plant body, and then merging together again, sealing this healing energy in. Again, see yourself in a sacred circle or sphere of light. You are in your own energy, in your own container, the sacred circle of love and light, helping you to deflect what isn't in your highest good and absorb what is for your highest good in a way that delights you in entirety. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and as you exhale, give thanks for this support once again. And then again, deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and as you exhale, come back to your physical body in the here and now. Start to wiggle, squirm, scrunch the muscles of your face, and when you're ready, open your eyes. I hope that you all enjoyed that. I do have guided meditations on YouTube, but I mean, there are lots of meditations out there, guided or otherwise. There are many ways to meditate. A lot of people find moving meditation is easier to get to. So yoga, qigong, gardening, for me washing dishes, monks would sweep, people exercise, all sorts of ways. But even just sitting in the garden and taking in nature and letting your mind just go to what the monks call that no mind state. You know, you just let it wander and let things come to you. That's the best way to reach your intuitive nudges or to connect. It's that time alone and quiet, peaceful contemplation, or a lot of times like artists, whether it's painting, drawing, music, cooking, there's so many ways to get there and to engage in this. So, you know, I love that saying, make your life a moving prayer. You know, chop the wood, carry the water, be present in the moment. And because it's when we're caught up in the fray of living and going through all the motions that we're not connected. So anyway, best wishes, all the love, be well holistically for yourself and the environment you're a beautiful part of. And again, if you'd like to work with me in person or online, I'm available. I will also, they want me to add in, I'm a bit like the sorting hat in Harry Potter, so I am here to see you on a soul level and witness what your gifts are, and help you to perceive yourself with that clarity. A lot of times I find it most impactful when people get me to do their astrology report, which I've broken down into chunks because it's a lot of information. And again, it's meant, I didn't expect to do card readings or astrology as a part of energy healing work, but there are ways to process information through your subconscious, and it's seeing it in writing, what your cosmic design is. And a lot of times the information repeats or counterbalances itself in such a beautiful way that people no longer deny it. So it's in writing, it's the cosmic design. So like I myself found that by looking at my astrology chart, I could let go of imposter syndrome and actually say, no, I was designed this way, I'm proud of it, and I'm not hiding or denying it any longer. So do yourself that favor. Get to know who you are, what your gifts are, how you're designed to engage. Don't vilify it. Learn to work with it with intention for your own highest good, as well as to be the beautiful element that helps this world be the best place it possibly can be. Anyway, I know in some cultures thumbs up is bad, but not where I'm from. So it's more like, go get 'em, tigers. So anyway, I'll see you next time. Over and out.